everybody, and welcome to Late Night Football. Welcome to our match reaction show. It's finished Fulham 2, Liverpool 2. I tell you what, that's an exciting game. That is a fantastic opening game for the Premier League. I know it's not technically the opening game because it was Arsenal yesterday, but my what a first game for Liverpool, what a first game for Fulham. It was absolutely brilliant. I think Liverpool will consider themselves fortunate to have come away with a point there because it was one of those things where I think Liverpool underestimated Fulham a little bit. I think they were a bit casual to start out with. They looked a little bit like they were almost like, well, we'll try to feel our way into the game. We'll try to take it slow. We'll try to go up the gears. And Fulham said, "Well, screw it. We're just gonna go bang onto you." And they were just the intensity was incredible. The pressing was great. They were trying to push Liverpool as far back as possible. Liverpool couldn't get out of their half so for a long time and just looked like the only question was, could Fulham keep up that energy for 90 minutes? And you always felt that Liverpool would get back to it, but Fulham just kept going and going and going. And then they got that first goal. And actually, right before that, about the first goal, yeah. So first, a lot of people talk about the header, but I thought it was good work from Palhinha because he actually found some space. I don't know whether it was a foul or not. I think I can see why it would have been given a foul, and I can also see why it was not given as a foul. So it really is one of those where you either give it or you don't give it. But the actual play from Palhinha when he got the ball, he actually found that space in midfield was brilliant. I thought it was good, and he kind of spun around. He was allowed to turn. He gets the pass away, and it's great work from Kebano to go down and find the cross. Find that the through ball for the fullback, and then the fullback puts in a great cross. At the end, it was a brilliant cross. I thought Alexander-Arnold should have done better. He could have done better in that cross because he just allows Mitrovic to get the jump on him. It's almost like he doesn't want to do anything with it, and it's just it's a wonderful header from Mitrovic, and he gets that opening goal. I thought a lot of that good work actually came from in that midfield. I think Palhinha spun around and found that space to actually open the play up. I thought Palhinha was brilliant throughout the first half. I thought he was excellent. He was doing very, yeah. He almost looked like he was too good to be playing a Fulham team that might be battling relegation. He just looked, he was everywhere. Like everything that he was doing was spot on. He had a clear idea of what he wanted to achieve, what he wanted to do. He was convincing in the tackle. He was, intercepting play. He was making good passes. I thought everything that he did today was pretty much spot on in this game, to be honest. In the first half, I should say. Yeah, the first half, he did a good game in the first half. I thought Liverpool just looked a little bit leggy. I thought Alisson for me had a very poor game defensively. I know you got this, he played a big part in that second goal. But he looked very poor defensively. He just looked like he didn't have that clue what was going on. There were so many times when Decordeva-Reid and I think it was Pereira as well. They both just kept going down his right hand side. They just kept going down that side, and Alexander just didn't have a clue of what he wanted to do. So anyway, that's the first half 1-0. And then Liverpool kind of stumbling, and then they make that change. They bring on David Nunez. And you know what? I'll say this about David Nunez. He's a very old-fashioned centre forward. I was surprised he didn't start the game, by the way. I thought he just started the game. He doesn't start the game, and he's the kind of player I think you'll always feel that he has an average game. When he doesn't score or when he doesn't create chances for others, he looks like he's a very average player. But the difference that he has from other players is the fact that in that box he comes alive. If you give him space, if you give him chances, he just comes alive. He looks such a different player in the box to what he is outside. He's unremarkable outside of that 6-yard area, but in that box, he just is fantastic. He's a fantastic player, and he had a chance before which he should have done better. He passed it instead of trying to shoot. I thought, why are you doing that? You should be shooting that instead of passing that, and he kind of flopped that. But then he gets another opportunity. It's a good cross in from Salah. Another player who I thought was unremarkable to this, Salah, but he got a goal and technically an assist, but I thought he was pretty average as well. But the ball comes in, he tries a flick, which doesn't come off, but Adarabioyo and just sadly just hits it, and it takes it his heel and goes in. It was a bit of fortunate goal. I think being lucky was the theme for Liverpool throughout this game. I think that was what it was. They got lucky there, which ricochets and goes in. It's one of those ways that you can get your first goal and then you get started on a run there. And I think what happened with Nunez was it was a good run. The run that he made was brilliant because he kind of took it out. I also feel that once Elliott came on, what it did was Nunez kind of became that focal point. I don't think Firmino ever is that focal point. So it became that focal point, and that meant that the two defenders were occupied, so they couldn't press up because they had to make sure that they were going to mark him. So they were pressed up, and so then it opened up that midfield area where Elliott, what he was doing was he was just running past Palhinha, and that's why I think Palhinha didn't have a good second half because whereas Thiago is very much creative, so he's kind of standing and tries to put passes in. So if you can kind of block him off, it's a little bit easier to deal with him. With Elliott, what he was doing was he was making runs either side, and that was kind of causing trouble for Palhinha because he was having trouble keeping up with the runs. So that was something, and that's something that's a larger trend. I mean, maybe we can talk about it, and if I have time to talk about it, but otherwise we'll talk about it at another point. But that was a nice little change. That was a good tactical change from Klopp, bringing on Nunez and bringing on Elliott. I thought it was good. Nunez should have started anyway, but I thought bringing on Elliott was a nice little tactical change because it completely opened the play up. And then against another place, that's the second goal for Fulham. Was that a penalty? I think it's one of those again where if it was not given, VAR would not overturn it. So because it was given, VAR said yeah, it's a penalty. I think Van Dijk just angled a leg out. He kind of made himself look into that position where he kind of got caught out. Mitrovic did well enough to to kind of engage him. But I think Van Dijk just panicked a little bit, just panicked. And this is a big season for Van Dijk, to be honest. He had a poor game in the Champions League final, and a below par season by not bad, but below par season by standards. The question is, can he get back to the level that he was at? And I think this is a big season for him to prove that he still can be the world-class defender that he was. And I mean, he's still a world-class defender, but just being that rock, that solid defensive rock. That he was, but we'll see what happens throughout the course of the season, of course. But here, there's a penalty. Mitrovic converts it. It's 2-1. You just hope that the Fulham can hold on, but again, one of the rare defensive errors that they made, and the defensive error that they made was the fact that the two defenders kind of got occupied. When they both got caught in the same ball, Ream kind of headed it, even though he probably didn't need to. Adarabioyo could have cleared it, but they both got caught, and it just falls to Nunez. It's actually just ricochets. It's another ricochet of Nunez. And Salah just goes, yeah, thank you, and he just stamps it in. Both of them, between them, they kind of manage it. So Nunez gets a goal and assist, even though I think they're both, in some ways faulty touches. But that's the way. Sometimes you need those breaks, and they might look back on this point as a very, very good point earned, rather than 2 points dropped. Because I don't think Liverpool deserved to win this game, or the Fulham deserved to win this game. But sometimes that's the way it was. You don't always deserve what you get. So you don't always get what you deserve. So you still take it. I think Liverpool will take it 2-2. And Fulham will be disappointed with the fact that they didn't get the 3 points because they played so well throughout the game. I thought Mitrovic was man of the match for me. Palhinha would have been if he had kept his level up in the first half, but I think he kind of faded away. So I think Mitrovic was my man of the match. The one thing though that I will point out is the fact that Liverpool do have this issue. And I think a lot of teams have this issue as well. Is midfielders that run with the ball. Players that run with the ball. I think that's Liverpool has always had this problem. Even last season, I noticed it against Villarreal quite prominently. If you have players who can run with the ball, Liverpool always struggle. So that's something. And I think in this game, you saw that as well. I mean, every time, Kebano or Decordeva-Reid or Pereira, when they were running with the ball, Liverpool were having issues. I think they can counter the passing. They can counter those kind of things. I think the run with the ball, I think a lot of the defenders and the midfielders are kind of not very comfortable in making tackles. So that's something. But same thing Elliott did in the second half. He started running with the ball. He was running with the ball. He was carrying the ball. And I think that caused problems as well. So maybe it's a modern phenomenon where things are different. And anyway, let's see what happens. I mean, let me know in the comments. What did you think of this game? I thought it was a good game. It's an entertaining game. I thought Liverpool were a bit lucky. But let me know if you think differently. I know they had a couple of shots, and Luis Diaz's shot at the post was this moment of beauty. That was a goal. That would have been a moment of beauty that goal had gone in. The Henderson shot right at the end also of the post was something to behold. But overall, I thought Liverpool were lucky. I think Fulham created enough to actually try and win this game. They'll just be unhappy. But let me know what you think. Do smash like for the game, smash like for the Premier League. It's back, and this is a fantastic way to continue on this journey of starting. So just smash like for that, and just smash like for Alexander-Arnold. I'm at the match, of course. And do remember to follow us on Facebook, subscribe to our channel on YouTube. We're gonna have a few more today because there's a few more games coming up. So we're gonna do a few. I think the Spurs will be starting soon, so we'll be doing match reaction for that as well. So stay tuned, and if you're subscribed, you get notified as soon as videos drop. Thank you for watching. We'll see you soon. Bye bye.